self-centered protagonist can really ruin what is otherwise a really interesting narrative that could have explored a lot of different thoughts. Unfortunately, 2 Years of Love, the 2017 film directed by Thadd Turner, was completely ruined by the character of Samantha. She's played by Kayla Ewell. I have no issues with the casting, and the way the character is written, although annoying, she does stay true to her personality throughout, so that's something that works in the character's favour. And she is a radio show host called Dear Abby. She's a psychotherapist or a psychologist, giving out advice, of course, but suddenly she's in her own dilemma because she feels her body clock ticking and she wants to have a child. She's been married for 2 years. This is set basically around the 2 year anniversary of her and her husband John, played by Merriman, and she desperately wants a baby. John is not ready. He is not in a place in his career where he feels financially stable or able to properly support a family. Samantha makes it very clear at several points that she earns enough money from the radio show to support them both. Obviously, that's not what John wants to hear. And the film is basically Samantha having a giant temper tantrum because she cannot have a child straight away. There will be some people who will argue that, well, the woman has an internal body clock, that maternal instinct, time is running out for her. She's not that old. We need to point that out. I don't know how old she is. I believe it was mentioned, but certainly we're talking early 30s at the most. She's not old. People might argue that, time for her is running out, whereas men can usually have children much later in life with fewer complications, etc. But she is basically just saying, I want a baby, give me a baby now. I don't care if you're not ready. I'm putting words in her mouth, but that's the message that she gives right throughout this film. And I hate her. I absolutely despise her because she is selfish and self-centered, and not once does she even consider what John wants. Not once does she even sit down with him and say, well, why do you not feel ready? There is a point, of course, where he does say, I'm not a place in my career, and then she turns it around and says, well, it's fine, I am. I have money to support us, which bruises John's ego, but also just dismisses his feelings straight away. I don't know if this film was trying to do that with his character. That's the bit that confuses me, because I'm not sure if they set out to make this horrible antagonistic protagonist who doesn't deserve nice things in life. That's really harsh of me, but she's selfish and horrible. And I will say the conclusion of the film, I won't say what happens, but I will just say that it's not fair. It's not right what happens, because it gives the wrong message that you can stamp your foot and at least get your way in certain ways. I just don't think it's a very good message. I don't think it's a very good execution of the narrative. The narrative itself could have been interesting, about a couple at different stages in their own careers, their own personal lives, and wanting to start a family, or one being not ready. But I just read this film as a giant temper tantrum for a woman who doesn't care about her husband's thoughts or feelings. And it's difficult to watch, and I just wanted to punch her several times. And I'm not a violent person. It takes a lot to anger me. Would I recommend this film? Only as a character study of how not to behave. And this is from a psychologist or psychiatrist or whatever her background is. I didn't care enough about the character to pay attention to her qualifications. She's not a nice person, and that makes this really difficult to watch. Unfortunately, this could have been an interesting film, but Samantha as a character just completely ruined it. I cannot recommend it at all.